What's up? What's good? What's good? Boys and girls around the world, everybody, welcome to the pod, man. You know what time it is. It's Unc Phew Hoops Edition. You in here with Big J, Big Step Up, Big Baby J in the building. Shout out to the mothers, man. I had to look all up in my closet for the pink. I got the pink. Shout out to Julie Black. You know what I mean? Great Canadian singer. I had to rock the pink for the ladies, man. No Cameron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Shout out Dipset, and I'm here with my co-host, my boy El Jefe, man, the OG. How you doing, my guy?
Doing good, brother. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing so well. Before we even get started, man, best way you can support us is getting them likes up. Best way to support. Obviously, if you have a little coin, you can send that too. I ain't saying nothing against it. But I know times are hard, man. The best thing you can do to support us, the best way to do that is smashing that like button, man. We got love for y'all. We appreciate y'all for spending even a little bit of time with us. So, that's what it's all about, man. Share, and smash that like button. Before I even get into it, before we get into the ball talk, into the hoop talk, Unc has a special offer. I think we have a special offer.
Hmm.
We're gonna be running a contest. We're running a contest, y'all. Uh Unc, can you kind of show us the promotion, at least the prize, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna tell y'all how you can get in this prize, bro. Yeah.
So the prize is entry for two people, complimentary to obstacle course for Marked Adventure Park.
Mm.
So we got a few of these to give away.
Let's go.
And that,
Let's go.
so yeah, that'll be fun.
And basically, can you tell them what happens at Marked? Is it like basically an outdoor kind of course or something? Can you tell them a little bit more about it, my guy?
100%, 100%. So Marked is a fully outdoor facility. You have dodgeball, archery tag, axe throwing, um, obstacle course, and of course paintball, which is what they were known for before. So multiple adventures that you can do. Spend the whole day, do a couple things. Um, but yeah, it's a fun. There you go. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
massive area. So obstacle course is really fun. We have the other day we had some people training for the Spartan race, um,
Nice.
which made me think. You know what? Let's give away some of those free entries. See if people enjoy them.
Man, it is so cool. I need to get myself to marked real soon. I need to stop playing myself. You know what I mean? But it is a fantastic deal. You get that family pass. How many people can get that pass again, brother? Like
It's
a
two.
family of how many?
It's two people, but
Two
we
people.
have multiple to give away. So
Bless,
good.
bless. And the value of it is probably in the hundreds. So I say it like this. Y'all are getting a great deal. And the best way you can do it again to get into that contest, very simple. Like, comment, subscribe, show us proof of that. I'm gonna have my email right here in the chat. You know what I mean? Here's my email in the chat. I want y'all to prove that you have liked, comment, and subscribed to the podcast, to my channel, right? And within 2 weeks, we're gonna show it a raffle. We're gonna pick out one person out of the contestants who's done that. And the thing that's so cool about this obstacle course marked and everything like that, you get to do some paintballing, have fun with the family. All that obstacle course is cool as hell. This is my email if y'all want to get in touch. At least show some kind of proof you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll let one of y'all know the deal. Especially if you're a frequent supporter. This is our way of showing love to y'all. Um, yeah, man, I love the contest. I love the deal. Show love to us. We're gonna show love to you. We give back. We give back over here.
Exactly, exactly.
So that's what it's all about, bro. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I gotta say this though. Before we get fully into it, right? Why is this man stealing your swag, bro? Why is this man stealing your swag, man? Give me a second while I pull this up, bro. Why is Pops stealing your swag?
Listen, listen.
What's going on, man?
Pops is much beloved, much respected. So
Yeah.
he's earned that title 100%. So,
El Jefe, the
but
boss, man. The thing is, I'll say it like this, bro. I'm gonna say it like this. I got love for Pop, but bro is getting too old for this ish, man.
mhm.
Like I don't know, like he's even having a tough time taking that off, man. We got the real El Jefe in the building. That's you, bro. But Pops is what's going on, bro?
I don't know, man.
What are
I
your
understand
thoughts?
like he's old and stuff, but like the last couple of years, it's been a decline in his health. So, from that press
Yeah.
conference, you can see how bad it was. Like he needs assistance walking, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, hopefully everything is okay with him, and he's not nothing's too complicated or anything like that. But yeah,
Right,
as soon
right.
as I saw him take off that jacket, I was like, oh no way.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying, man. You know what I mean?
yeah.
My thing is like I say, bro. I think this is just a respectful way that they're trying to do it
Hmm.
because it's more like a ceremonial role. I don't think it's like a real. He can really do a lot now
Hmm.
because he's 76. He just had a stroke,
Yeah.
and I think it was really tough on him, right?
Hmm.
So at least in my perception, my point of view, they wanted to give him a proper, show him some
Yeah.
respect. That's why you had Tim Duncan's there. That's why you had Ginobili. I
Hmm.
don't know what Tony Parker was. I don't know, maybe smashing on somebody's wife.
Hmm.
Tony Parker, this wild MFer man. But also the thing I learned about San Antonio, they have a huge Spanish population. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Hispanic
Oh,
population. So it kind of fits in with the culture. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
100%.
Oh. Hey man,
No, but
I'll say it
it
like
was
this,
funny.
man.
It was funny.
It was funny, bro. It was funny despite that. I will say this, man. When we're talking about these NBA playoffs, bro, it has been so good, man. And the thing is, this second round, especially by this team, and I'm talking about specifically the Knicks, man. The Knicks have impressed me so much because I did not expect it. We're gonna talk about Halliburton later on the Pacers because
Hmm.
there's a game coming up later. But brother, those last two wins, and that was after our last part,
Yeah,
right? We
yeah.
were we were pretty locked in on Boston,
Boston,
Cleveland.
yeah.
We're like, okay, it's like it's already done. Little did we know, Famo. What did you think of those last three games actually between Boston and the Knickerbockers, man?
Well, in
What are
both
your thoughts?
games, like Boston was up 20, right? And then
Yes,
they lost that lead. Like what possesses them to lose a lead that big? Was the players just gave up? They didn't want to play anymore? Like I don't know, but like to lose that lead to a team that you're supposed to beat easy, you're supposed to sweep this Knicks team, right?
yes.
So, but Knicks didn't give up, which is good for them, and it shows like Munson, like his determination. So that's
Oh
been a
yes,
fantastic, and I know I'm not alone. I know me and you together, we're hoping that Boston loses. Like there's
yes.
a lot of people that want Boston to lose. So
That's
if
a
the Knicks
fact.
if the Knicks pull it off, pandemonium, pandemonium. So, but we'll see,
Yeah,
we'll
man.
see. Tatum took responsibility, saying he needs to play better, which is true. Like he's supposed to be the I don't want to say face of the league, but he's supposed to be a
Right.
superstar among superstars. But the first two games just proved that he maybe he isn't as good as everybody says he is, or as good as he thinks he is. Um,
Yes.
but they're down what 2-1, so we'll see how the Knicks respond. They had the momentum. Now it's a
Right.
little bit crushed, but we'll see how they do.
Man, I appreciate that analysis because I had a similar thing. By the way, everybody, you coming in here, at least smash that like button, get the likes up. Let's get it rolling. I was thinking those two games, I watched them, right? And I was thinking in the back of my head, it's done, especially going
Mm.
into the fourth quarter, because you're looking at it, okay, the Knicks are down 20 points. It is what it is. But that Boston offense, what happened so many times in the fourth is that they almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
So they were chucking up threes. And I don't know what's up with them. They hate going inside. Al Horford looked like he was compromised. Poor Zingas was not being going in there. Like I think Porzingis basically left the games early. And this guy, Mikal Bridges, woke up. He woke up every fourth quarter,
Hmm.
talking about game one and two, and made a game sealing steal or a block or was just disruptive as hell.
Yeah,
Everybody knows what you're going to get with Jalen Brunson.
exactly.
Everybody knows what you're going to get. You know what I mean
Hmm.
with everybody. But when you have an X factor like Mikal Bridges, he was phenomenal in game one and two.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that Boston won game three because Mikal Bridges was basically shut down. And I believe Boston won because of this guy, white boy Peyton Pritchard, y'all. Of all people, this guy, the six man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, was dropping them bombs. Bah,
Hmm.
bah, bah. Just shots on shots on shots. And if you look at the stats, fam, in game three, in Madison Square Garden, the guy who scored the most, bro, was not Tatum. It was Peyton Pritchard with
Yeah,
23 points, dog.
which is
And
crazy.
that's what shows you, even though we don't like Boston, they
Hmm.
showed you the heart of a champion by saying, hey, we could have folded in game three in front of Spike Lee, in front of Adam Sandler, in front of all the Jewish New York MFers. They decided no, because there was definitely a lot of Jews in there, bro. The
Oh,
tickets were
100%.
$700. I'm just keeping it a beam, bro.
Yeah,
What are
fair
your
enough.
thoughts, brother?
No, it's the same thing, right? Like
Yeah,
Boston, they have the experience to weather the
yeah,
storm. So it's whether or not their superstars step up, because that's what superstars are supposed to do. So, but to get that extra little push from from your bench is phenomenal. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see if they don't come out strong in game four, then I think it's just maybe it's time for Boston to step aside. But that might be too early to say. Um,
mm,
but like New York's surprising, but at the same time, I think we both were like hoping New York would win this
oh
secretly
yeah,
anyway. So,
oh
um,
yeah,
but we'll see. It's been a fun second wave of playoffs for sure.
man. This second wave of playoffs has been absolutely insane. These game-winning shots, these games going to overtime, and we're gonna talk about a little bit more about them later. Uh, it's had me on the edge of my seat, man. Even that Friday game with OKC
See,
and Denver going to overtime. We're gonna touch on that a bit
yeah,
later. As we finish off on this Boston and Knicks topic, the Knicks they got blown out in game three.
yeah,
And that's the game that we remember yesterday. From the first whistle, Boston looked like they had a sense of urgency saying, we are not going to get embarrassed by the Knicks. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And everybody in New York was going crazy, buck wild. I don't know why the NBA had the game on at 3:30 p.m. on a Saturday. They should have done it Saturday night, but tickets were like $700. And for me, I just said, okay, let me deep dive. Let me deep dive on what's going on. I found out that Boston, right? They are a better road team than home team. They have like a 33 and 8 record on the
On the
road.
road, that's crazy.
So they were favored not only just because they're the better team,
Hmm.
but because they are played so much better on the road. So I have a theory that this might go seven and the Knicks might win on the road. What are your thoughts, Unc? What are your thoughts, Hefe? Do you think that is there a psychology behind that being better on the road than at home? I don't know.
With the way the stadiums are nowadays, actually, I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to a buddy about that. I'm a.
Yeah.
It seems like teams at home are like over pressured to win at home, right? So that when they're on the road, they get like the fans obviously are booing them, but that's fine. But when you're at home and you're expected to win by 20, 25, whatever it is,
Right.
it can get to these guys, right? So I don't
Yes.
know. Like, it's surprising that Boston has a winning record on the road, but I don't know. If it gets to game seven, I don't know. I don't know if the Knicks can pull it off, but
Mm.
obviously I want them to. right?
You know what it
Um,
is, yeah.
but I don't know. I think Boston's experience will pull them through if it gets to Game 7. Will Boston win
Mm,
4 in a row? I don't know. I don't. I don't think so. So
right.
so Game 7, but I think Boston takes it if it does go to Game 7.
Hey, I guess we got two different opinions, but we'll see.
We'll
That's
see.
the blessed thing about basketball. We definitely gonna see because the
Hmm.
fact remains that these NBA playoffs have been so good, and I gotta do it, man. We gotta do it too. We have to stop playing with this boy, man. And when I say stop playing with this boy, I mean he was actually voted the most overrated player in the NBA, bro. This guy, Halliburton, yes, the most overrated player in the NBA, and he's doing the big ball celebration in front of everybody's face due to his incredible game two heroics. I'm gonna
Hmm.
see if I can get the video, bro. But did you see how crazy that sequence was for him to actually get the free throw? Let's play it, man. You know,
Hmm.
fair use. YouTube, NBA, don't clap my channel, but this is fair use. We're using it fair use. Don't play with my channel. Look at this sequence, fam. With 12.4 seconds left, Indiana down 2 points. Let's look at this, bro. Shot gets his own board. Nah, I'm gonna pull up. I'm going for the win. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Step back in your mouth.
Hmm. That's
Unc, what
insane.
did you think of that?
Insane.
Crazy.
First question.
Talk
I
to me.
thought you weren't able to leave the foul line until the ball hits the rim.
Mm,
So
go ahead.
if you watch it again, he steps into the lane before the ball. Look, boom, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
You're right.
we can see it because we're analyzing it, whatever. But the refs
Right.
obviously aren't going to call that. But yeah, for him to have that confidence to do a step back three with the game on the line, with all this showboating stuff, I've never liked it. It's not a big thing for me, but like passion, don't get me wrong, because there's a difference
Yeah.
between the passion of the game in the moment than it is to do all these things of ice in the veins and stuff like that after missing 33s, but whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know, I think we both called Cleveland in this series.
We did. We
And
were
we're like,
both on it. Like, what's going on with us, bro?
yeah, I was like the first two games I was like, nah, this has to be a joke. Like I think
Right.
I can't remember what betting site it was, but if you put the parlay on all the underseeds winning the first two games or something like that, put
Right.
$100 down, you would have won 800 grand. So
Oh
that's
my God.
yeah, that's the odds of
Wow.
this happening, which is insane. So,
Right. Right.
but I know, good for him that he's proven his critics wrong. But I don't know,
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of the Cleveland Indiana series at all. I just been I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've been upset that Cleveland has been losing. So.
Man, the craziest part, brother, is that I watch the series here and there, on and off, right? I check her highlights in there. And for me, like you, bro, I was expecting, okay, quick sweep, 5 games. The Pacers are for real. They are for real. And the thing about the Pacers is they're the type of team where they don't need Halliburton to go for 30 or 40. They don't need Siakam to go off. They'll each have like 17, 18 points each,
Hmm.
and they're very fast paced, bro.
Hmm.
They're very fast paced, and you could see that they were getting Cleveland tired. And the craziest part is that Cleveland, right? They had been missing Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and I think another player, and that was affecting how they were playing. And the funny part or the craziest part is that once all of them came for game three, they completely annihilated the Pacers, bro. It's like they smacked them around, and the real head of the monster was Donovan Mitchell
Yeah,
with 43 points. He stopped. He
but that's
snapped.
like, but Donovan Mitchell's been averaging 30 plus the series. No,
Yes,
if I'm wrong.
yes,
So he's
yes,
he's
yeah.
gonna get his, but like it's the supporting cast, right?
Right,
Supporting cast
right.
has to step up and help him out because, like, you know, like even at 40 years old, LeBron's still averaging 23 points, 24 points, which
Yeah,
is
the
insane,
goat.
right?
Yeah.
So everybody else needs to step up. Like Luca needs to step up, play better, right? Because technically now
Yes, bro.
it's his team. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
this goes to prove it that Spider's gonna do what he does. But if the team's not
Yes.
behind him, then obviously they lose. It was close games, obviously, like 1 point games, I think
Very
1 and
close.
2. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
They were both 1 and 2 were decided on like one game winning shot
mhm,
or a layup. And the thing is, within the first I think I think almost every first game was like the road team won,
yeah,
meaning Pacers won on the road, Knicks won on the road,
mhm,
Denver, I believe, won on the
on the
road
road,
with
yeah,
that game winning shot by
Gordon,
Aaron Gordon, your guy. We're gonna
mhm,
talk about
mhm,
that.
mhm,
You called that out the park, fam, with
mhm.
the Aaron Gordon take. I remember you said that last week. Aaron Gordon's the key, and you're absolutely right. Every
When he
team.
averages less than 20, they lose. Check the stats.
Ooh,
Check the stats. When he averages less
okay,
than
okay.
20, they lose every game.
I guess I might
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
check that out.
I'm just saying.
Hey, hey, Hefe be knowing, bro. You be knowing that. You be knowing this. You be knowing this stuff. I'm gonna say this, man. With this series, man, I don't know if it's gonna go 7. I don't know if it's gonna go 6. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just know for sure the Pacers have been impressing me right
Mhm,
now, and who knows? Like you said, brother, you had a guy like Max Strus. He came in with 21 points. Evan Mobley brought in 18. Darius Garland, even though he's injured, he brought in 10 points. So at least the guys, the starters, all were in double figures for
mhm,
Cleveland. And this is something that gets annoying about Halliburton. He'll have a crazy game, and then he'll have another game. He'll do this. He'll go
yeah,
4 points, 5 assists, and you're gonna need your best player to give you more than that
yeah.
in order for y'all to consistently win. So
So
yeah,
imagine if Halliburton scored 28, they would have won the game,
easily,
right?
yes, easily.
So
It's a dub.
that's the
It's a
thing.
dub, and they'd be playing at home. So
Yeah.
this game they're gonna play later today. They're playing it in Indiana. My first take, my prediction, just the first thing that comes in my mind. I'm thinking that the Pacers get this, but again, it depends on how they start. If they start aggressive, start strong. If Cleveland starts strong and aggressive, we might have a 2-2 situation.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming game, brother?
Same. The Indiana has to push that pace,
Mm,
right? Like you said earlier, like Indiana's quick team, fast team,
yes.
young guys, they can run. So if they tire out the old school, like imagine they get to the finals and then they meet Denver. Like Denver's too slow. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Denver's too
Yeah.
slow. So anything can happen because obviously it has. But if Indiana can push the pace and tire out Spider, then
Mhm.
they have a way better chance to win. So, but Halliburton has to show up every game. None of this like,
Every game.
and I hate to say it too, because Ant did it the other day too, where he scored like 4 points, 1 point the entire half.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, bro, you're my guy. You can't be doing this.
Oh.
So, like, these guys need to show up every game to play and to win. So,
Oh yes. Oh yes. Talking about showing up every game, man. We got to talk about this series, man. This series is a lot of fun. We got it 2-2, and your guy Aaron Gordon he's been a monster, man. He's been a monster. And you know which game I'm finna talk about, man. I'm gonna talk about that win in over. No, not the for that win in overtime, bro. The first game,
mhm,
right? With that game winning
that,
3,
yeah,
right? Absolutely nuts. And you know what? You might be right on what you said about the 20 points because on that game winner, bro, he had 22.
mhm,
They lost to OKC. He had 10. They won in overtime on Friday. He had 22. They lost today. He had 15. So, damn. You called.
the
What
the man.
did you see in Aaron Gordon, bro, that made you say, oh, he's the key?
Like, honestly, since he was in Orlando, he's
Mm,
always been a good, solid player. Like he's one of those guys who could have been a superstar, but he was
mm,
fine being like behind the scenes role player guy, fill in the blanks where you need him. And
Right.
for me, I love that about some players. Like they understand the role. You know what? I'm not gonna get like the 300-400 million dollar contract to be the face of the league. That's fine. But this kid can ball. So
Yeah.
and I saw that when he was early in his career. So I was like, oh, keep an eye on this kid. And then, ever since he's been at Denver, he's been phenomenal. But it's been like a low key phenomenal, right? Not a lot of
Yes.
people see it. So, but I've always liked him since Orlando. So I don't know.
The thing about him is that he does the dirty work, fam.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's not a guy who's gonna go out there and fill up the stat sheet, but he's gonna get a clutch rebound. He's gonna get a really important block. He's gonna get, and now, which I think is really new to his game, is now he has a lot. He's three. His
Hmm.
shooting from three has improved greatly, and I think this is actually the play right here. One thing that I didn't know for sure, I didn't understand was how OKC's coach started like some kind of hacking type thing with 13 seconds left, like hitting or at least forcing players to the line. Like, what's
Like
that
hack
strategy
hacking.
all about, man? What the hacker? Yeah,
The
hacker
hacker
shack
shot.
thing. Like,
So yeah, like players with
yeah,
low free throw percentages, force
yeah,
them to get the ball, then you foul them. So it stops the clock, right? You get a chance of them not scoring, so you may get a
right.
stop, and then you get the ball back. So there's benefits to it, but it's an ugly thing. Like I don't know if you saw when Hack a Shaq was invented because nobody could stop Shaq, right?
Yes, it's a fact.
Like
It's a
teams
fact.
had 5 centers to try to stop him just for fouls, which was ridiculous. Um, so that whole thing was like get him to the line when the game is close. You
Right,
hack a Shaq, right? You hack him, and then he's gonna miss his free throws. So you stop the time, you get the ball back. So like the strategy, theoretically, the strategy is good, but it's just an
right.
ugly looking part of the game is all.
It,
But
it just becomes ugly basketball, brother.
mhm,
Because, like, okay, will it work strategically? Maybe,
mhm,
possibly, yeah. But at the same time, this ending of the first game with Thunder and Nuggets, fam, it was like 13 seconds on the clock, right?
mhm.
But because of the hacking and taking people to the line, that 13 seconds, my guy, lasted for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like I was like, well, when am I gonna sleep? So they have everybody at the line. OKC's up six, right?
yeah.
And I think they had, maybe they'll show it here. But Chet misses two shots.
Hmm.
I don't know why it's taking time to load. But Chet misses two shots. And at this point, Aaron Gordon, they go have some kind of fast break play, and then Aaron Gordon gets the ball. Um, I don't know. It's not working probably. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But anyways, as y'all know, Aaron Gordon, Russell Westbrook runs up the court with the ball. I think it's like 6 seconds left. Launches it to Aaron Gordon across the court. Aaron with the clutchest three you can imagine. Boom, it's money. 2 seconds on the clock. Obviously, OKC can't do nothing about it. The Denver Nuggets steal a fantastic game.
Hmm.
The next game, OKC comes back. You know what I mean? And then game three, which was on Friday, fantastic game. And like you said, he gave you 22 points, 8 boards too, man. That's going to do a lot. Goes to overtime. The Denver Nuggets bounce back.
Hmm.
And what I think they're doing, which is something that we can touch on a bit later, they are making it really, really hard for SGA to get buckets.
Hmm.
They're making it really hard for him. Murray, Porter, and when they're on, they're on. They're taking this OKC team to the brink, fam, and it is 2-2 anybody series, brother.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man? What's your analysis so far, bro? What do you think? How do you think this is gonna go, bro?
Well, I'm like Aaron Gordon fan, so I'm hoping the Nuggets will take this one. But like
Yeah,
OKC, everything I've seen from OKC, I don't want to say they're like a one trick pony because they have young players. Like they have young
yes,
players that have a great core. So I think they're gonna be a problem for a while. But like
Right.
every regular season game that I kind of saw was the same thing. Like SGA trying to draw fouls, blah blah. So
Right.
like take him out of the game, and then what do you have? What's your strategy there? Like who's your second option? Who's your third option? Who's gonna step up?
Right.
Right? Yeah, they can be a fun team to watch and play together and stuff like that, but they usually just have like SGA drawing fouls. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see because I know he's what is he called the most he's gone to the line the most, and gets the most
Of
calls.
course. You already know, man. He's on that Harden swag. James Harden. He
Yeah.
loves baiting fouls, bro. He
Mhm.
loves it.
Which is I thought they stopped calling those because or at least the obvious ones, but I guess
Right.
not. But it is what it is with that. But one thing I wanted to mention that got me mad, just because I am an old head, was at
Right.
their last loss where he was smiling as they were walking off the court. I was
Oh
like, "Are you
yeah, yeah. A
serious?"
lot of people are pissed about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm like, "Why are you smiling right now? Like you just lost. You should have won that game." But
Yeah. When they were in
mentality of
OT,
mhm,
he was like, I'm like, the fuck?
yeah. Like, why are you
What?
smiling? You look like an idiot. But that's me. That's like I said, that's me. Old head and
That
me.
that's
Like, you don't see
that
Kobe smiling. You don't see MJ
oh
smiling,
no.
right? So it was. I don't know. I
Man.
don't even think you see LeBron smiling sometimes, even though
No,
it is just
LeBron's
basketball.
pissed.
It is just basketball. So
LeBron's pissed,
yeah.
man. And you know what I don't like? Okay, look, I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan. But LeBron be coming up with dumb excuses after. Like, okay, you took the L, just take the L. You didn't get an MCL sprain, fam. You didn't do that. Didn't happen. Like, let's stop playing. And I remember he did this one time. He brought a cast after losing to Golden State after a series, and then he shows up with a cast in his hand. Like, bro, your hand was not murked, fam. Like, you just lost the series. You don't have to make up. Oh my god. But yeah, I did. You know what? I'm not an old head, but I was annoyed by this.
Hmm.
I'm like, bro, you just lost an a critical game
Hmm.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, no smiles, man.
No.
What are
Zero.
we doing?
I'd be pissed. You're running out of the stadium. But
Right.
it is. It
And
is
you
what it
know
is.
what? Here's the thing too. That overtime one, just something interesting to watch. They completely shut down SGA. He didn't score anything in the overtime, and I think the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, he didn't score nothing.
Nothing.
So Denver has found a solution for SGA,
Hmm.
and to the point where I think I'm sorry, OKC's best option a lot of the times is this guy Jalen Williams. He's been coming up. He's been doing things, you know.
Hmm.
But as we go through this series, it's literally experience versus youth because OKC is the youngest team in the NBA. I
Yeah.
think their average age is like 24, 25, something
Which is
crazy.
insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
If
They're
they can
they're like a
stay
college
together,
team.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a college team. Like
Mhm.
SGA is 26 and he's like the old head of the group,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So, like you said, brother, this could go in Denver's favor easily because they're the more experienced team. And an underrated narrative that I think we should watch out for is that Jokic, as great as he's been playing, he's not going as hard because he's missing shots. He's getting defended very well. Like you won't see it in the box score,
Hmm.
but you can see it in the games, especially in the fourth quarter. The reason OKC won today is because they really stopped him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was really hard for Jokic to get a shot. They were swarming him. It was every bucket was tough. So that's an underrated narrative to watch out for.
Yeah.
As you said, Aaron Gordon is the X factor. If he gets those 20 plus points, it's a big indicator, fam. It's a
Mhm.
big indicator.
Yeah.
But I wanted to discuss something with you too, though, right? Do you feel like the refs are letting them play a lot more in these playoffs? What are your thoughts, bro?
Less. Yeah.
I think,
Less. I don't
uh,
want to say less. They're getting a little physical, but the refs are letting it happen. right? They're not calling
Yes.
every single sneeze, every single like wink. Like they're letting them play a little more than they do the regular season, as they should. It's playoff basketball. It's gonna be, it
Right.
should be more competitive, right? Should be more
Yes.
competitive. So I don't know if if the higher ups have said anything to the refs, and you know what, let them play. We got to get ratings, all that stuff. But there's obviously a lot to go that goes behind the scenes. But yeah, they
Yeah.
have been letting them play a little more, which is it's good. It's good for the games. Look at the game; they're exciting to watch. Right?
Yes.
It's not every 10
Yeah.
seconds we foul, ooh, technical for laughing. Like it's none of that nonsense. Like let the guys play. That's what they're there for. We're there to watch the players, not the refs call a game. So
Oh yes.
yeah.
Oh yes. And you know what? This is how I know they're letting them play. I look at what Draymond's doing on the court. Homie should have flagrant text all the time. He's yapping off on the refs in front of their face, and
Hmm.
they don't. Bro, I'm telling you, Adam Silver gave the call. He's like, "We letting them boys play, dog. We letting them boys play ball."
Like especially like with Curry being out, Draymond's gonna act out, right? Because
Yes.
he
Yeah.
realizes he can't lead the team. He's not the star of the team. He's just the voice, and I guess I don't want to call him a mad dog, but he's not the star. Nobody goes to see Golden State
No.
wants to go see Draymond. They want to go see Curry. So
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know if it's just out of frustration because time has told that he can't win without somebody else. So I don't
Well,
know. I
well.
I just don't like him. I'm
I
biased.
know.
I just don't like him at all.
I had to do it. I had to do it because we about to go in on LeBron. I know it's coming, but I had to get my digs in. I had to bring out your op. I had to bring out your enemy. But bro had like this is something that Draymond said that I thought was ridiculous, right? So Draymond had a post game, right? Was like, oh, you're trying to make me an angry black man,
Hmm.
brother. The league is 80% black, and you terrorizing other black men, and
That's black on black
it's not
crime.
just like what did you think about that, bro?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that was absolutely nonsense. It was just
Yeah.
for clicks so he can talk about it on his podcast. So I don't know. It just makes no sense why he would say that at all. But again, it's just him chirping. It's who he is, right? So
Right.
can't really do nothing about that.
My thing is, bro, like if you just look at what you done did to players, you should have more text. You should have more flagrants. You should be oh, I think he's like maybe like I think two flagrants away from like being suspended a game. Something's crazy. And I looked at the game recently. I'm like, dog, they could have called you. They're letting you play. Like don't stop testing them. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like almost like you're poking the bear, fam. They're
hmm,
letting you get away with things.
with a
And I
lot,
kind
right?
of me I like physical basketball.
Hmm,
So I
hmm.
like it, but sometimes it's too much, you know. It's like, bro,
Like,
you
there's no
know?
need to slap somebody when they like, how he goes with his arms and his legs. Like that's all show,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
somebody swipes the ball from you, I'm like, okay, your hands are here. They, you don't
Right.
just sit there and slap somebody for no reason. So yeah,
Bro, like
it's an
he was like smacking
overreaction.
on Naz Reid. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
What are we doing, man?
it's an
Oh my
overreaction
god.
for no reason. Yeah.
I say it like this, bro. When you look at this game that just happened yesterday, right?
Mhm.
Our boy Ant Edwards, he masterclass went off for 36 points, 4 assists, I think this is his best game shooting wise
Shooting wise,
in
yeah.
a while. Actually, I'll
Mm.
be real because he's actually had a lot of mid to trash games. But when you have a guy like Julius Randle, and we talked about this,
Triple double.
triple double, first triple double in the playoffs since the legend Kevin Garnett. You know what I mean? Julius Randle going in. And you know what? Here's the crazy part. Golden State did a great job too. You had Jimmy, 33 points, seven all across the board. You had another guy who I think is underrated, Kuminga, who's coming in with 30 points himself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Obviously, our bestie didn't do so well, but he's a defensive guy. He's not expected to fill it up.
Yeah.
Pozeski, he didn't do well either. But either way, the game was super competitive and super close. But I don't think they can do it without Curry, bro. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on this, man? Do you think they say game six Curry could come back, but could that be too late?
yeah, definitely too late. If and like
Right,
Curry being his like he has nothing to prove to anybody, right? He has rings, he
right,
has all that stuff. So to push him to try to come back for Game 6, I don't know, it's too much of a stretch. Let him rest. Like I don't think they're gonna win the series even if they do have him. Um,
right,
so for me, I let him rest, let him get healthy for next year if he did, if he decides to still continue playing. But yeah,
right.
I don't know if. But the thing is that Ann has to play like that for the next couple of games.
Yes,
Like no ifs,
yes.
ands, or buts. That's how he should be playing all the time.
And the thing is, if you just looked at the game that Ant was playing, he was way more aggressive going to the rack.
Hmm.
Way more aggressive. Uh, I think we have this dunk that he had on Looney. It was crazy. It was nasty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm like, yo, this guy is nuts. But you know how hype that gets people? And they were playing on the road, actually.
Hmm.
That's a great, it was on the road,
Yeah.
bro. Makes it
It's
even
just
more nuts.
the
You really
air that
think
he
about
gets, like how he
it.
makes it
Yes.
look. It's like, yeah. There's been what a handful of people that have been able to dunk the way, like, yeah. I just
Come on,
look at
man.
that.
Come on, man.
Ah,
Ugh.
right.
Let's go.
You got
Let's
Dr. J.
go.
Dr. J used to do that back in like 70s, 80s,
I
and
like how the
they
cameraman was freeze framing on different faces
just to see their reactions. Like, oh,
just to see, you know what
nasty.
I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But do you know how hype that gets a team, fam?
Hmm.
Just all up in his eyes, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all. But
Exactly.
you know what? They did this on the road too.
Hmm.
So they did this in Golden State's place.
Yeah.
Hey, hey. Will this
That's what I'm
even
saying.
go six? Does it? Oh no.
If I don't know, can they win the next two games? They should. They should
Yeah.
win the next two games, but I don't know. Maybe Golden State pulls one off to try to get Curry, or I don't know. I don't know. But obviously, I want Minnesota to win. So
Yeah.
it is. It
No,
is
no.
quick and get some rest before the conference finals.
I must say this, man. The way Ant violated Kevon Looney reminds me of this guy violating his mom's. Man, fair use by the way. This is like this is recorded on the worst type of
Well,
level.
there was no 4K back then.
Ain't no 4K, bruh.
Yeah.
And look at
There is no love loss. There is no love loss between LeBron James and
come
Paul.
on.
Like that's his mom's, bro. Come on. You don't
I'm
say
sorry. That was nasty work. That was nasty work. We do not condone that message here.
that. Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? At Unc Phew Hops. But I was looking up mom moments and Unc told me about it. Unc, what did you think of this series at this
Yeah.
moment?
Like I
I
understand
couldn't
like
even
his
damn.
I don't want to say his aggression, but like his
Mm,
his intensity, right? You gotta give him
mm,
that. It was an intense game. It
yes,
was somewhat of a decently. I don't even want to say decently hard foul. It's a wrap up foul, but
that's a wrap.
the
Yeah.
scuffle afterwards. Like look, if you look at Kevin Garnett, he's talking to LeBron's mom, being like, "Yo, it's okay. Like it's nothing. It's not like malicious or anything like that." And then
Right,
Braun
right,
says what he says, and everybody can read lips, especially at that clip. But like, he wrong for that. I don't care. He wrong for
I
that.
mean,
Call me old
it
if you
was
want to. I don't
nasty
care.
work. It was like we're not talking to moms like that,
Yeah,
but I will say this: as part of the LeBron defense force, I'm the LeBron defense force, man. I'm LeBron defense force, and if y'all in the chat and you LeBron gang, if you James gang, follow me.
yeah.
He just got a hard foul, well, it
Hmm.
was wrap up foul from Paul Pierce, right? Mom Dukes is over here. She's trying to look after her baby. That's moms. You know what I mean? That's how moms are. They're trying to watch out for their kid. But bro is in an intense playoff scenario.
Yeah.
I think here's even says the Boston leading 2-1. Them battles were LeBron's Cavs and were intense. I think he was in the zone. I don't even think bro was really like aware. You ever get in a zone, you're like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it is nasty work. I'm not gonna pretend. Sit your ass down. I
Like sit
mean,
your ass down to his mom. Like again, like you said, it was intense. Probably he obviously, hopefully, at
yeah,
least he regrets it. But
right.
obviously it was long ago. But it's one of those moments that like you can't really forget. It's always in the back of your
Well,
mind,
yeah, yeah.
right? To do that,
That
like so
that was a
it's
major
crazy.
moment. If you're talking about moms in the NBA, bro. Another major moment, man. The truth. I mean, the answer.
Culture,
My bad. Why did I
yeah.
say the truth? I was thinking about Paul
Paul
Pierce.
Pierce.
Y'all remember this, bro? Getting
Yeah.
braided. Yeah, mid game.
In
Yeah.
mid game is insanity, but that's what AI did, right? He changed the culture of the NBA,
It's
so
a fact.
it was insanity. But yeah, everybody's like the comments and stuff like that, like from the announcers and stuff like that was just like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? I don't know if they'll have it in the clip, but it was crazy, crazy
Yeah.
to see.
Let's see if they have the audio here. Okay, I guess they have no audio on it, but either way, that's just a cool moment, bro.
Hmm.
I thought about that when I'm thinking about mom moments in NBA. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And another one that really, um, really got me. You know what I mean? Is when Kevin, when KD got his MVP. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? This was cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was really
let's
good.
listen
I don't
in.
think you know what you did. When something good happens to you, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to look back to what brought me here. And you wake me up in the middle of the night in the summer times, making me run up a hill, making me do push-ups, screaming at me from the sideline of my games at 8 or 9 years old. We wasn't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put
That's
clothes on our backs, food on the table.
Hmm.
You the real MVP.
word. That's what's up.
Yeah,
You know, I gotta give a lot of respect to KD for that, man. That was a huge moment,
100%.
man. What do you think about
Yeah,
that,
for
bro?
sure. No, like you said, it was gigantic. Like for him to
Right.
be able to do that and be man enough to start tearing up and stuff like that. But the amount of respect he has for his mom for everything that she sacrificed for him, like you can't if you don't like that clip, then you're not a person. You're not a
Yeah,
person. So
that's true, man.
um,
You something else, man.
yeah,
That's why we gotta show love to the moms,
mm.
man. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Shout out to the moms out there,
you
bro.
know
You know what I
this
mean?
is off the NBA. But if you look up the
Mm,
UFC with Tyron Woodley losing
mm,
to Usman in the
okay.
back. Woodley's mom congratulates Usman on the victory, and like that interaction is
Mm,
amazing to see as well, because you can tell the strength
right.
of Woodley's mom to be able to do that. To congratulate the person that just beat up your son is crazy.
Damn.
So
That is crazy, man. I'll see if I can grab the
you can
clip.
grab it, yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's so real. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your parents, especially the moms out there, they want the kids to succeed, right? And whether ups or downs, a good parent, a good mom is there for you. She's gonna be supportive. She's gonna show
Mhm.
love. I think we have it here on
Yeah,
Instagram.
there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's what's
all right.
up. I think this was when Usman won it the first
Hmm.
time, right? When
The
he won it.
championship, yeah, yeah.
That's what's up.
All right, it's crazy
Oh,
just
that's
to
great.
see that the emotion, the respect, all that stuff is,
Mm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome,
that's
man.
crazy,
That's
yeah,
great. I didn't even know that. I just learned
yeah.
that now. Oh, that's cool.
Great moment, man. Great moment.
That's a great moment, man. And you know what's crazy, bro? If you look at just the career of Kevin Durant, I'm surprised he only has one MVP. That's just a side comment.
Hmm.
He's only that one MVP in OKC. It looks like SGA is gonna get the MVP in OKC as well, but when that man was on fire in OKC, they were a real team,
Yeah,
fam. They made it to the finals. They lost to the GOAT. You know what time it is. They lost to the GOAT.
they lost because of
But
inexperience. I'm gonna give it that because LeBron's made it there for so many times. He had the experience of making it to the finals. Just he didn't get over the hump of winning the finals or whatever.
hey, it takes time. Slow and steady wins the race, brother. You know what I mean?
Is that why he's still
Um,
playing?
hey, that's actually, man, bro. I gotta fight back, but that actually leads to what we talking about. It's quite interesting. The
Retirement.
Lakers, LeBron reveals retirement plans amid rumors. I've seen this narrative going on around a little bit where LeBron, at least from what people are saying, that his Lakers era has been a failure, based on Laker standards. And people have been saying it overtly. LeBron should retire. Not because he is not good no more, because he's still good. He still gave you 24, 8, and 8.
Mhm.
But the way he is in his career right now, the way his playoff losses have been going, I think he's like 2-14 in the last playoff series. Like he's getting blown out in playoff series. Like it's not even competitive.
No.
We just talked about a lot of competitive playoff series. We just,
Mhm.
I mean, we just spent, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we didn't
But
mention the Lakers at all. So that
not even
that goes
once,
to
fam.
show you, right? Like, yeah, it's pretty bad. But like, this guy's gonna retire as many times as MJ. Like the rumors, it's been like 4 years now that people are saying he's gonna retire.
Yes,
He's gonna retire. Right? It was like, oh no, 2 more years, and then he gets to play with Bronny. This year he played
yes,
with Bronny. So as a dad, like I think we mentioned it last year. As a dad, that's an amazing thing to do, to be able to play with your son in a
right.
professional sport. Like that's you know
Huge.
who else has ever done that besides no, not even Ken Griffey Jr. in baseball. Like he didn't play with
Right.
his dad, right?
Mhm.
There's obviously been a lot of dads sons playing the same sport but never
Yes,
together, right? So
right.
that's for me, as not the huge LeBron fan as you are. Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest, he's not going to win any more rings. So that chapter is over. So what is he playing for? What is he trying to prove now? Like he doesn't really have anything else to prove, right? He's all-time points
Mhm.
leader. There's some other stuff that he has, some accolades and stats, but there's nothing for him to prove. He can only go down, right? And like, as much as I
Yeah.
don't like him, I don't want to see that to be the remaining of his legacy. It was like, oh well, he was like a flopper and he did this, blah blah blah, and then he just kind of decreased in value for
Right.
the team. So like, yeah, the Lakers need, like, they don't need to get rid of him, but they need to start thinking rebuild in the next couple of years for sure, because he's not
Right.
going to perform. Obviously, at 40, he's not going to perform as he was even when he was like 30.
Yeah,
So
of course.
you have to build the Lakers around Luca if that's where they want to do it. But you know, should he go back to Cleveland, play one last year in Cleveland, just to retire as a Cavalier? That's
Mm,
one thing to think
right.
about. But you know, again, with LeBron, it's always once he's out of the playoffs, stories just still need to be about him. It happened last
Uh,
year. Oh, I might retire. I don't know yet. I'll let you guys know. Like, nobody cares. Playoffs are still happening. So let us finish the
uh,
let us finish the playoffs, and then we can talk about LeBron. But
damn.
that's that
Okay. Look.
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Damn. We have Unc. Unc is going in, man. Tell me how you really feel, bro. God damn. Damn, you hurt my soul, bro. But you know what? Actually, this is actually funny enough. This actually goes into a segment that we're gonna talk about OGs of the game, because
Mhm.
LeBron, like you just said, he is literally the old MF, and he's the oldest player in the league.
Yeah,
Not even a joke. And I think this is gonna be like, if he plays next year, I think he will. 3 years in a row, he's been the oldest player in the league,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And like you said, brother, I don't see a championship coming out of LA anytime soon. I think the Clippers are closer to a championship than the Lakers, bro. I hate to say it, but they're closer. And they have James Harden. the king of flopping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
The Lakers are so badly built, fam. They are so badly built, and keep in mind they have to. Maybe they will. Well, I think they will. They have to pay Luca, bro.
yeah.
They have to play Luca this off season, and I think Luca's gonna get some crazy max deal. So that messes up the cap space. Who can you get in free agency? Who's gonna be available? Anybody who really matters, who's really good, is gonna be picked up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Unless somehow LeBron or Luca ask for a pay cut in order to make the roster better because they're the heavy, it's top heavy for the Lakers.
100%.
I do not see him, unfortunately, getting a championship with LA within the next 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
And that's what I think because LeBron has, I think LeBron, if he really wanted to, he could even go for like 4 years, even five, but he's going to be inefficient. He's going to have to come off the bench.
Hmm.
And I don't see LeBron as being the type of guy who wants to be coming off the bench. I see him as a guy who wants to start. I think he wants to contribute to a team, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So controversially,
Genuinely, he wants to be a factor in the
yeah.
game, right? So,
Yes,
but
yes.
when you get up to 42, 43, if he does play in the next couple of years, he's not going to be as proficient as he wants to be, and that's going to be a downfall, right?
Right,
So,
right. It's not like this guy. Vince Carter was coming off the bench. He was just getting his bench minutes, end of the bench. He retired at 42, right?
hmm, hmm,
But he was comfortable coming off the bench and being at the end of the end of the bench, right? I don't see LeBron doing that. I see LeBron, which is part of his, ego, just who he is. He wants to finish his career at the top. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'm gonna say something controversial. I want you to follow me. I want you to follow me, bro. I think he should go to the Knicks. I said it.
To the Knicks.
I said it, bro. I don't know
Mm,
what happened in my head, but I thought about this. And I thought about this for a bit. I think he should go to the Knicks. I'll tell you why. He's obviously not going to be the number one player.
mhm,
So that's Jalen Brunson. That's the guy. It's closer, more clutch. He won't even really be the second player because at this point, Cat is more valuable to a Knicks team. He might have to be a third option, maybe. And I don't know how you could sell this to him, but you could even have him lead the second unit and be somebody who is a contributor to a Knicks team that actually has a chance to win a chip.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Obviously, with the trade, they'd have to trade a lot of pieces. Obviously, they'd have to figure out the contract. And because LeBron has a no trade clause, he'd have to want to go to the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
have to pick the Knicks in all
In order for
likelihood.
it to happen, yeah,
Yeah, so a
yeah,
lot of parts have to click. But if he wants one more championship, I see it in New York, man. A lot of people said Golden State because there was even rumors about that a while back. A lot of people even said, I think Mavericks were in some kind of mix a few years back, right?
yeah.
Because they did think about teaming Luca up with LeBron even
LeBron.
back then, but it was the opposite way. LeBron to the Mavs.
Well, did
But
LeBron
I
want to play
think
with
that
Kyrie again? I don't think so.
Kyrie, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was when he was, really peak.
yeah.
So, controversial. I want to get your reaction. What are your thoughts, man? LeBron, the New York Knicks.
Honestly, I don't see it happening.
Okay.
That's kind of a little, I don't want to say outlandish statement, but
You
I
say
don't
you can
know.
say it. Yeah.
Like I like again, and this is gonna come off as like a LeBron hater, but I don't see him properly leading like a second unit. I don't see him in that role, right?
Okay.
I think he has I don't want to say too big of an ego, but I think because of everything he's accomplished, he doesn't want
Right.
to step down on that role. Like you said, Vince Carter was comfortable in that role. He came off. He mentored
Yep.
some of the younger guys, right? But he was always been that type of player. Like even in Toronto, where he got all the spotlight and stuff like that, Tracy McGrady didn't like it, and so he left. But
Right.
Vince was like, as he got older, he realized, you know what, I'm not gonna be. Like he could still dunk, obviously, but like he's like, I'm not
Right.
gonna give you the minutes or give you the 30-point games that I used to. And he was okay with that. He was okay with coming off the bench, maybe putting up 15, but
Right.
helping the younger guys understand the game, helping them in doing that. So I just don't see LeBron in that role.
Right. Right.
And like you said, that's his role would be in the Knicks. He wouldn't be first or second. So
No.
he would have to go somewhere where they have, yes, established guys that it's their team. So LeBron's coming in more as a helper, but
Right.
I just don't see him in that helper role. Like look at Russ on the Nuggets, right? Everybody said
Oh
Russ
yeah.
he can't play with nobody, blah blah, but he finally settled on the Nuggets and was like, you know what? He's playing well. He's playing as a team.
Oh yes. And to keep in mind, Russ, this is the furthest he's been in the playoffs in years, bro.
Yeah,
In years.
yeah.
Meaning he was with the Lakers, that didn't work. He was with the Clippers, didn't work. Rockets for a little bit. The man that went to Washington, bruh. Actually, I like
I
this
totally
Washington.
forgot about that. I totally
Yeah,
forgot that he went to Washington. Oh my god.
he was there for a year, fam. And he actually played really good. I'm not going front. He played really good in Washington. But the man was on a lot of squads, but now he fits in like a glove
Mm-hmm.
in Denver. And actually the people love him. He brings high energy and he's obviously the second unit. He's the
Yeah,
sixth man at this point. But bruh, it's like a match made in heaven.
yeah,
You dig?
100%. Yeah,
So with LeBron, you might actually have a point. You might sway me a little bit because unless LeBron humbles himself and puts himself in the second unit, we're gonna have a situation where bro is losing in first rounds and actually destroying his legacy, bro. I think this makes his legacy really bad, fam. Like it looks really bad.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
By the way, give me a quick second. I'll be right back. Just talk to the people in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, fam.
Who's this? She loves Dior. Oh, you must have missed the earlier conversation about Aaron Gordon. Like Aaron Gordon's my man. I called him in the first round. He's going to be the key to the to the OKC series. And we talked about that earlier. How if he has a good game, then Nuggets win. If he's not playing well or they're not giving him the ball enough or whatever like that, then they lose. So he is a big factor for the Nuggets in their wins. So I like Aaron Gordon. Like I said, I called him earlier in the playoffs. So I really like him.
Yes, yes. Shout out to She Loves Dior in the chat. I heard a little bit of what Unc was saying, and yes, earlier Unc was absolutely right, bro. Talking about the influence of Aaron Gordon, bro. And look, we'll just restate it again. If you look at Aaron, I didn't even know the stat. Unc had to put me up on game. If you look at the stat that when Aaron Gordon gets 20 or more points, they win. And we'll just look at it right now. We'll look at it right now. Aaron Gordon, game one with that game winning shot, 22 points. Dub. Game two, the L, only 10 points. Game three, the dub, 22 points. And the L today, 15 buckets from Aaron Gordon. Essentially, when he's hot, when he's confident, when he's really shooting or getting boards and dunks, it correlates, it builds up the team, and the team, which is the Nuggets, they play better. You know what I mean? So actually, this kind of correlates to the LeBron topic before we finish off the pod. When you look at LeBron, he could do that. He could do that. He could fit in the Aaron Gordon role. But Aaron Gordon, he came from Orlando as the face of the league, as a superstar, and went down
Hmm.
in a sense, or down in a sense, because Jokic is the clear
Okay, yeah.
star and Jamal
And then
Murray is maybe the second star. You
yeah,
dig? Yeah.
not so much anymore. I don't think Murray as a second star, but I think obviously Joker is everything to the Nuggets. He's the
Yes.
face of the Nuggets right now. But you can interchange them. Like Murray has a great game, Russ has a great game, Gordon has a great game. So
Yes.
that opens up in a team atmosphere. Like as a player, you don't feel as selfish. It was like, okay, I got to go up and put 30 boards. If I'm having a bad game, like I got to push through. No, so there's other options that can step up. So instead of
Yes.
trying to overshadow them, you support them, right? I think it was
Right.
on the last game winner that Gordon had with the three. It was Russ coming down the wing, and he drew both defenders to him and
Yes,
passed
he
it off
did.
to Gordon. So like Gordon
Yeah.
had a wide open look, like gorgeous play, and that normally Russ would have taken the shot. A younger Russ would have
Yes.
definitely taken that shot, right?
Yes.
But
That's a
understanding
fact.
his role now, he's
Cool.
like, no, you
Yeah.
know what? Get it to the open man. He has a better look. Boom, and they end up winning the game. So that's the issue that I have with Braun is not he. That's not his thought process. His thought process is like,
Mhm.
give me the ball. Let me either try to win it or pass it off to somebody who doesn't have a good look, and then I can blame them that we lost the game. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll say it like this. I'll say it like this, man. What was impressive, by the way, fair use. I don't own this content. YouTube, don't play with me. But you're right, man. Look at this. Old Russ, old Russ takes it to the hoop and
Yeah.
misses. But you see how he drew in Jalen Williams.
Mhm.
He drew in Jalen Williams and Chet. They
Yeah.
had to decide. They were like, yo, are we gonna go for Russ? Draws them in, boom, outlet. Aaron Gordon, he has a choice. He can come in if he really wanted to, but
Mhm.
he's a fantastic shot selection. Game winner.
Yeah.
Boom, night, night. And my thing is, if LeBron, again, to my point, if LeBron wants one more ring, I think he would get a ton of accolades and respect if he hit that Aaron Gordon role, right?
Hmm.
Now, does he have to get Finals MVP? No.
No.
But at the end of his career, he'll be known as a five-time champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As maybe a great contributor on the Knicks
Hmm.
or on, I don't know, a contender. Because look at this. There's rumors of KD going to the Rockets. Imagine KD on the Rockets. He would make them so much better. But KD at that point, he'll be he'll be like the second man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So is it that bad? I don't think it's that bad, but like you said, bro, you make some valid points. You're a LeBron critic. I know. I see the haterade, but you did spit some facts too, man. Let's see what She Loves the Euro was saying in there. Is he a good player for the Nuggets? But Celtics been lacking. Mostly Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier in the pod we were talking about that, about Jason Tatum flopping. I don't know if LeBron would go to the Nuggets. I don't even know if he'd go to the Celtics. Too much history.
Like
He would look soft.
imagine he
Oh,
goes to the Celtics.
oh,
No, I'd
oh,
put him in the
snap.
same category as KD at that point.
That would be nasty work.
Yeah.
Nasty, the nastiest work you can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Imagine Paul Pierce and KG roasting him. They would roast him. I mean, they would cook him.
hundred
You know what I
percent
mean?
roast him. But you never know.
Before,
Maybe he just stays with LA and for the next couple of years and gets his money because he has no fear of being traded, like you said, right? He has no trade
yeah,
clause in his contract, so he doesn't need to go anywhere. So
you're right.
he can
You're
just
right
stay
about
in
that.
LA and try to get Bronny up to speed, being a NBA full-time NBA player. So I don't know.
I just hate how it looks in his legacy, bro. Imagine on your resume, fam, you're just getting your ass whooped by all these teams. First round exit. Like, okay, you're gonna have all the stats, but brother, your legacy now is looking shabby. You know what? I'm gonna give you MJ suckers. You guys who get on your knees and pray to the throne of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I'm gonna give y'all this one credit. Jordan dipped the Bulls at the right time after getting that sixth ring because a lot of teams were coming. The Spurs were coming. Indiana almost took his block off. All these teams were coming. The Lakers were coming, for example. But he decided to chuck the deuces after that Utah win. I think it was 98, something like that.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes it's better to know when to fold him, you know what I mean, rather than
Yeah.
when he keep going and looks bad. And by the way, Unc, you have one of your one of your LeBron critics. LeBron has no problem looking soft. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, Bob.
Yes, Sleepy is my boy right there.
Oh man. Y'all evil, bro. What are your thoughts? How would you, if you were in LeBron's shoes, would it be better for you to retire now, or would you maybe prolong it, maybe play with Bryce, or like what's your mentality, bro?
Like what? Okay, so
Yeah,
Bryce has what, 2 years before he's eligible for the draft.
yeah.
So
So it'd
like
be like 27, yeah,
so why not,
2027.
right? Why not? Now you
Mm,
hold, you're the first father son duel, and now you're
yeah,
gonna be the first father son duel. Like if Bronny
yeah,
gets drafted by the Lakers and all three Jameses are on the Lakers, one, it's going to be a sideshow because nobody's going to take the Lakers seriously, which is the downfall for Laker organization. Okay, and
right,
don't get me wrong, I'm not the only LeBron critic, as you say. There's Lakers fans that want LeBron off the Lakers, like die
You're right.
hardcore Lakers
I
fans.
have heard that. I've
They
heard that.
want him
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
They want him out because he's tearing the organization down, not just his personal stats, all that stuff, but the legacy
right,
of the Lakers. You have the logo, Jerry West, you have Kareem, you have Magic, like all these players that made this franchise what it is, and now LeBron's kind of like just chipping away at it and bringing it down, type of thing. So, like you can call me a hater, but I'm just more realistic, I want to say.
I will say this. This reminds me, sadly, of when Kobe's last few years with the Lakers because he kind of held them hostage a little bit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? With some injuries, some contracts. His contract was huge back then.
Yeah.
But Kobe, he went out amazing, bro. That 60-point game, that was beautiful to watch, man.
Yeah.
I watched it. I almost teared up. It was fantastic. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you couldn't write a better ending to a career, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, I think the way LeBron finishes his career is going to be very important. Like you
Hmm.
said, a lot of Laker fans, you're absolutely right. They want him gone, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a movement. You know what I mean? It's actually like a good amount because they expect championships. Boston,
Yeah.
same thing. Boston expects championships. You
Yeah.
know, and Boston is known as that type of thing. Lakers, they're known as that type of team.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up the show, man, do you have any OG of the game that maybe you wanted to highlight, maybe related to this conversation, or maybe just in general, so the people can know, you know, what I mean, an
You know.
OG of the game, maybe.
You
You
know
know?
what? I'm gonna go with a similar player. Like I want to keep it with the Aaron Gordons of the NBA. Those guys that
Respect.
were solid, good players for their teams, or role players for their teams.
Mm.
And one that comes to mind, and it's funny because he comes coming from the Bad Boy Pistons, is
Oh,
Joe Dumars.
Joe
So he
Dumas.
was with the backcourt with Isaiah, on their
Respect.
two championships, and he was tasked to try to guard Jordan. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
that was his
Didn't
task.
know
And later on in his career, he was a mentor to Grant Hill. Now imagine Grant Hill if Grant Hill didn't
that.
get hurt,
Oh,
right? Joe
yeah.
Dumas, quiet guy, humble guy, phenomenal player, phenomenal defender.
Hmm.
And like he gave Jordan some trouble in the early years, in the early 90s before he got over the Pistons. But he was one of those players that I really liked to watch because he just loved to play and he was humble about it. He no ego to him,
Mm,
respectful of everybody. But then as he got older and started mentoring Grant Hill, you can see the level of Grant Hill's skill level, his knowledge just start skyrocketing. And of course, unfortunately,
mm,
Grant Hill got hurt, but ended his career way too early. But Joe
right.
Dumars, if there's not a lot of highlights of him, which is too bad because most of them are Rodman and Lambeer smacking the hell out of Jordan. Um, but Joe Dumars was like a defender, man. Like, and for me,
Nice.
my biggest thing was defense. I love defensive players. I think that's why Scotty's like my favorite player because mentality was
Right.
defend. He had the job to defend the other team's best, right? And so
Mm,
he would tire them, and then when he was getting tired, then Jordan would step in, and it was just the tandem of them. You just wear down opponents at that point. But yeah, Joe Dumars.
Right.
If you can see some highlights of him, it was good to see him play, even though he did come from the Pistons. But you can't hate that.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah, we're just watching some here again, fair use.
Mm.
YouTube don't play with me. You know what I mean? We're just watching and giving commentary in here. But Jordan, I'll give Jordan this. Jordan was a ferocious defender too on the other end. So Jordan will give you some defense too. I just know that the bad boy Pistons, I didn't really know too much history about them,
Hmm.
but they gave Jordan a lot of hell. Like
Yeah,
Jordan had to grind to actually beat them.
yeah,
And I think he had Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, even to this day, he still has a beef with Isaiah. You know what I mean?
hundred
Or at
percent.
least they dislike each other because
Yeah.
they used to go to war.
Hmm.
And it looks like, at least from what I'm seeing from these highlights, Dumas is shifting his legs. He's really like the D'ing up Jordan as this ish roll, is loading up. I don't like
Yeah,
that. But Jordan had a lot of trouble with them, man. Like
yeah,
a lot of trouble with them. And keep in mind, the Detroit Pistons, they won two chips with between the Lakers era, Boston era, and Chicago era. So they were like they were really like they were them guys, man.
yeah.
That's what I remember, at least from what I saw.
Well, that's the thing with the bad boys. They, besides obviously Isaiah, who was their main star, because he
Right.
was like he was a point guard, but at the same time he could score, right? And then
Nice.
that was like the early days of like I said last time with Ron Strickland, where he was a great court vision, but he could score, and KG as well, he could score. But those
Mm,
guys, their mentality wasn't score first; it was pass first, develop the play, develop the offense. Um,
right.
but with Isaiah, like Isaiah can get to the basket almost at will, I want to say, but like
Mm,
Lambier wasn't gonna give you 30 points. He wasn't gonna give you 20
mhm.
points, right? He would give you 10 points, but he'd get 18 boards and then assists and then hustle plays, and that's where
Right.
Rodman came in because he was the same way. And then you got like John Sally and the rest of the role players for the Pistons, but they gelled as a team. And then when it came to Chicago and Jordan, like they knew if you keep Jordan out of the game, Chicago has nobody else. They're not going to score. They're not going to win if they can't score,
Mm,
right? So that was their
yeah.
mentality is like if you keep Jordan out of scoring, you're going to win the game. It just so
Wow.
happened that they started like physically assaulting the guy on the basketball court. So
Oh snap. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's why
Yeah.
Jordan went from being 160 pounds to 220, right? Because he had the bulk up. He
Mm,
had the bulk up to take those beatings that they were giving him.
that's fair, man. I like Dumas's like shit, like his lateral quickness, like
100%. Yeah.
the shiftiness, you have to be good quick on your feet to be good at defense,
Yeah. But
because
look
you
how
have
low
to
he is,
stop.
right?
Yeah,
Even
he's
there, you
super
can
low.
see how low because that
Let me
helps him
put
with the
that again.
lateral movement, right? Keep
Right.
the scorer in front of you, and then like look at the
Yes.
spacing, like all that stuff you take in consideration. Even when you watch Scotty, that's the same thing. Scotty's low. Scotty gives spacing. He's able to kind of read what the opponent's going to do to be a better
Right.
defender. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah, he's right
big
there
game
with
Jordan.
him. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good defense right there, man.
Hmm.
That's very good.
So
Man, that's an OG of the game, man. I
mhm.
like you see this is why I like this segment, man. We learned some ish, man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, bro.
and you know it kind of makes sense that you relate him to Aaron Gordon because Aaron Gordon, he can play good defense too
Yeah.
against your big man, and
Hmm.
he is competent against the shifty guard. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So shout out to OG the game, Joe Duma. Shout out to the moms out there. Shout out to the chat, man. The chat wasn't so active, but it's all good. I'm happy the chat came through. Sleepy Euphoria. You better have smashed the like, man. I don't know about this LeBron comment, man. At least smash the like, bro. You kind of aight sometimes. Yeah, aight sometimes, man. Yeah. Aight. Shout out to She Loves Dior. Appreciate your commentary. You know what I mean? Nobody's better than the chat. Again, if y'all missed it earlier, we are running a contest. Unc, if you want to just maybe remind the people one more time the
Yeah.
contest prize, please. You know what I
So
mean?
prize is 2 free passes for the obstacle course at Marked Ultimate Marked Adventure Family Park. Um,
Hmm.
for you and a friend to go check it out. And there's no time limit. So if you want to do the course a couple times, then you're more free to welcome to do that. So we have a
Yes,
few of those to
yes.
give away.
Absolutely. And the way you can get in the contest, like the channel, like this video, comment on the video, subscribe, and show us some proof. You know what I mean? That you have done that by going into the email. Show me some photo proof that you liked, you commented, and you subscribe to the channel. Get our engagement up. Share. The one people more active in about 2 weeks, we'll give out the prize. She loves Dior. Yes, I'll tell you exactly how to win again. Like, comment, subscribe to this video, this channel. Show me some proof by going to this email again. And in about 2 weeks, we will announce the winner. Appreciate y'all more than you know, man. We're gonna watch this Cleveland and Pacers game. It looks like the Pacers are absolutely punching them in the ish. Like, look at the score, bro. Pacers are absolutely. Let me put it up.
I
My
was gonna say,
bad.
put
Just
it
give
up,
me
put
a
it up.
sec. Let me put it up right now. Yeah, it's 48-23. This
Ah,
is
it's still early. It's still early.
is the early. Is the early. Appreciate y'all more than you know, man. We got love for you. It's been Unc and Phew Basketball Edition. We out.
Nice.